Janavallabha Girivara Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamunatiram Manasari Yamunatiram Manasari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivara Gopi Janavallabha Girivara Shodhanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamunatiram Manasari Yamunatiram Manasari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Prabhupada Shila Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Prabhupada Shila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pari Vrajagacharya Astottara Sachasimani Divine Grace ISKCON Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pari Vrajagacharya Astottara Sachasimani Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki अनंत कोरी वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास कुर की जय प्रेम को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपाल गोपीनाथ श्याम राधा कुंड गिरी गौरवदान की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय मथुरा धाम की जय नवद्वीप मायपुर धाम की जय जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की जय जमुना माई की जय गंजेश माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय मिठाई गौर प्रेमानंदी all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees. All glory to Shri Guru Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pritaya Bodhasanati. Bhakti Dhira Damodara Krishna Purvara Shaitana. Shri Gaura Karana Shakti Bhakti Dhira. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshulunvitan Jena Tashmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Utapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaguna Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Purijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaguna Lolita Sri Visakan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakal Pataru Vyasya Vipasam Divyaye Vacha Patitanam Pavanavyo Vaishnavavyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Grande Rasi Srila Bhagavad Gita Sitis Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Any verse? Anyone?
Yes. You can elaborate 435. 4.35.
You want that one? 4:35. Right. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Cities, Chapter 4. Transcendental Knowledge. Text 35. Yash Gatwana Punaramoham Evam Yasyasi Pandava Yena Bhutani Asisani Draksha Sadmani Atumai Yajgatva na punaramoham Evam Jasyasi Pandava Yena Bhutani Asisani Draksha Sadmani Atumai Yajgatva na punaramoham Evam Jasyasi Pandava Yena Bhutana Sasayani Dakshasyadvanyatu Mai Yadgatva na punarmoham Evam Yasyasi Pandava Yena Bhutanya Sasayasani Yasasyatmanyatu Mai Yadgatva na punaramoham Yevam Yasyasi Pandava Yena Bhutani Asayasani Jakshasya Manyatu Mai. Matajis Yajgatva na punaramoham Evam Yasyasi Pandava Yena Asisani Jakshasya Manyatu Mai. Yajgatva na punaramoham Evam Yasyasi Pandava Yena Bhutanya Sesani Daksha Syarmanyato Mai. Yat, which, Gatwa, knowing, Na, never, Punaha, again, Moham, to illusion, Evam, like this, Jashasi, you shall go, Pandava, O son of Pandu, Yena, by which, Putani, living entities, Asesani, all, Drakshasi, you will see, Atmani, in the Supreme Soul, Atau, or in other words, Mai, in me. Translation and purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Dhira Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, he will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. Please repeat. Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme. Or, in other words, that they are mine. Purport. The result of receiving knowledge from a self-realized soul, or one who knows things as they are, is learning that all living beings are parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. The sense of an existence separate from Krishna is called Maya. Ma, not Ya, this. Something that we have nothing to do with Krishna. That Krishna is only a great historical personality, and that the Absolute is the impersonal Brahman. Factually, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, this impersonal Brahman is a personal effulgence of Krishna. Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is a cause of everything. In the Brahma Samhita, it is clearly stated that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes. Even the millions of incarnations are only his different expansions. Similarly, the living entities are also expansions of Krishna. The Mayavadi philosophers wrongly think that Krishna loses his own separate existence in his many expansions. This thought is material in nature. We have experienced in the material world that a thing, when fragmentally distributed, loses its own original identity. But the Mayavadi philosophers fail to understand that absolute means that 1 plus 1 is equal to 1, and that 1 minus 1 is also equal to 1. This is the case in the absolute world. For want of sufficient knowledge in the absolute science, we are now covered with illusion, and therefore we think that we are separate from Krishna. Although we are separated parts of Krishna, we are nevertheless not different from him. The bodily difference of the living entities is Maya, or not factual, not actual fact. We are all meant to satisfy Krishna. By Maya alone, Arjuna thought that the temporary bodily relationship with his kinsmen was more important than his eternal spiritual relationship with Krishna. The whole teaching of the Gita is targeted towards this end, that a living being, as Krishna's eternal servitor, cannot be separated from Krishna, and his sense of being an identity apart from Krishna is called Maya. The living entities, as separate parts and parcels of the Supreme, have a purpose to fulfill. Having forgotten that purpose since time immemorial, they are situated in different bodies as men, animals, demigods, etc. Such bodily differences arise from forgetfulness of the transcendental service of the Lord. But when one is engaged in transcendental service through Krishna consciousness, one becomes at once liberated from this illusion. One can acquire such pure knowledge only from the bona fide spiritual master, and thereby avoid the delusion that the living entity is equal to Krishna. Perfect knowledge is that the Supreme Soul, Krishna, is the supreme shelter for all living entities, and giving up such shelter, the living entities are deluded by the material energy, imagining themselves to have a separate identity. Thus, under different standards of material identity, they become forgetful of Krishna. When, however, such deluded living entities become situated in Krishna consciousness, it is to be understood that they are on the path of liberation, as confirmed in the Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10, Text 6. Muktiri hitva narata rupam sarupena vyavasitihi. Liberation means to be situated in one's constitutional position as an eternal servitor of Krishna. Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
In text 34, Lord Krishna requested that we should approach a self-realized soul. If you approach a self-realized soul, we should submissively inquire from him. Because in this material world, everyone is trying to maintain this body. What is the reason for that? Why do we work very hard to maintain this body? Attachment to the body, we don't want to do it. But why are we attached to this body? Illusion. It's illusion. It's illusion. We are attached to this body because it's illusion. What is illusion? That we don't know why we should maintain this body. Suppose one gives birth to a lump of flesh. Suppose. What will we do with it? What would you do with it? Suppose you give birth to a lump of flesh. Huh? You throw away. Right? Thrown away. That's what happened to Gandhari. Gandhari, when she was pregnant, and Kunti Devi gave birth to a baby boy. So she became very angry and she punched her stomach, which is karma. Because she did that, when she actually delivered, there was no soul inside. It was a lump of flesh. Right? So what to do with it? Throw away. But in Vedic culture, people are fortunate more than us. What is their fortune? Their fortune is that whatever happens, they don't just take decision on their own. They go to one who knows. That's a fortune. This day we don't go to someone who knows. Whatever happens, we think that we know. And the reason for that is that we are blind in the mind, not physically blind. Our mind is blind. Blind. So if you want to cheat a person, you can cheat a person who is blind in the mind, not a person who is physically blind. A person who is physically blind, he will consult somebody. This I want to buy, is it good? No, that's bad. Throw it away. Don't buy this. A person who is blind in the mind, he would think that he knows. He would never consult any person. So you buy a bad good. This is what is happening in the material world. Our mind is blind. Therefore, everyone thinks that we know. We know. Therefore, we don't make inquiry. But civilized culture, people never do anything themselves. They must go to somebody who knows. So, Srila Vyasadeva was present. So they approached him. So Vyasadeva said, cut the body into pieces, the flesh, cut it into pieces. They cut the body into pieces, 100. And he was able to bring them life. That's why Dhritarashtra has 100 sons. That's a Vedic culture. But the point we're making is, suppose you were not having Vyasadeva, what will happen? Throw away. That happened to Jarasandha. Jarasandha, he was born in two parts. Half. As the meaning, Jara, Asanda. So he was thrown away. What will he do with the half? one eye, one nose, one ear, one hand, one leg. Throw anything away. So they were thrown away to a dustbin. And there is a demon living the Jara. The name of this demon is Jara. It's different from Jara the hunter. There are two Jaras. Jara the hunter is Bigumuni. He has connection with Krishna. Very fortunate. But this Jara is a demoness. It's a demoness. So she came there to look for something to eat. And Jara saw this beautiful flower. This is half and half. So she joined the two together. And Jarasandha became life. As she brought Jarasandha a gift to the father. Thank you very much. This is great. So, please, what boon do you want? Ask for a boon. Jarasandha, as a demon, it's not supposed to do that, but providence. Allow her not to act demonically. So he brought the baby and it was settled. That is how Jarasandha came to exist. And Krishna knows his history. Bhimsena doesn't know the history, but Krishna knows the history. So while they were fighting, Bhimsena couldn't kill him. He doesn't know the history. He got a blessing from the demoness, Jara. So Krishna told him, he took a blade of grass and put it into two. So, okay, he got the hint, tear him into two. So he did. So Bhim was saying, okay, I've done it. Well, the body came together. I was surprised. What is this? Krishna took the blade, another blade, and cut into two. He threw it this way. So when Bhimsena tore him into two, he threw this one, and threw the other side. So he couldn't come back. So he was dead. So the point is, a lump of flesh, nobody will keep, thrown to the garbage. But if the soul is inside the body, then maintenance, dressing, feeding, everything will happen. Right? Yes. So in our case, we are taking care of the body, but without understanding why we are taking care of the body. That's what Prabhupada is calling Maya. Maya. The reason we're taking care of the body is what? The soul. But we have forgotten that. So we are simply taking care of the body without knowing the reason why we are talking. In Krishna consciousness, you can say this, you can say that. But if you're not a devotee, ask any person, why are you taking care of this body? What answer will you get from a non-devotee? Why are we working so hard to care for this body? Why? Even though we know that this body have a duration, we'll continue to take care of this body. The reason is because the soul is inside. That's the only reason. Otherwise, it will be discarded. Like Jarasandha or a lump of Gandhari, Devi. So this knowledge is not available now. We are simply acting foolishly. Therefore, a fortunate person should go to a self-realized soul. That is just the beginning. To establish relationships, so sambandha, that's the beginning of spiritual life. To establish a relationship. In that relationship, Krishna said we should make inquiry. We should make inquiry. Our inquiry should be a submissive one. Submissive. That means it should not be absorbed. Papa said in the purport, absurd inquiry and blind following are condemned. Because there's nothing that will come out from it. Blind following means we are fools and we cannot get anything. Absurd means that we are challenging the speaker, so also we will not get anything. Both are condemned. But we should approach a self-realized soul who knows the soul, not just the body. He knows the soul. And our approach and submissive inquiry is not complete until there is service. Service. So Lokesh said, when these three things are perfectly done, then that means what? The services which we render, that is called abhidaya, sambandha relationship. In every relationship, there is a functionality, activities that goes on in between. That activity is abhidaya. And the result of establishing a relationship and the services which exist between two people, which are abhidaya, there is a result of that. The result will do what? The result brings pleasure. It brings pleasure. So that is called prayojana. So in text 34, Krishna has established this, sambandha and abhidaya. Where is the prayojana? Where is it? That is text 35. Text 35. That is the prayojana. What is the prayojana? Yad gyatva na punara moham. And if we have gotten this knowledge, if we have received this knowledge, na punara moham, you will never again come under illusion. Just as say, nah, punara means again. No more illusion. That is the proof that one has approached a self-realized soul. A self-realized soul, the Prabhupada said in the purport, he said a self-realized soul. Yes. Let's say, the perfect knowledge is that, no, before then, yeah. But when one is engaged in transcendental service through Krishna consciousness, one becomes at once liberated from illusion. One can acquire such pure knowledge only from a bona fide spiritual master and thereby avoid delusion that the living entity is equal to Krishna. So, transcendental knowledge is received from a self-realized soul. Self-realized. One who is self-realized will be able to give us the knowledge. How do one know that I have gotten knowledge? Na punara moham. No more illusion. Then Krishna said, Jasyasi Pandava Jena Bhutani Asesani. You will never fall again into such illusion, for by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are what? All living beings in different bodies. In different bodies. 8,400,000 bodies. A self-realized soul sees all these bodies to be complete with the soul. And the soul is part of Krishna, not part of this body. The soul is part of Krishna. Therefore, Prabhupada used the word. What Prabhupada used the word? Spirit, soul. The soul is spirit. And many people understood that the soul is this body. The soul is this body. Therefore, to make it very clear, Prabhupada said the soul is what? Spirit by nature. Not just the soul, but the identity of the soul is that the spirit by nature. And the spirit is part and parcel of Krishna. That is knowledge. This is knowledge. And now, when we look at different bodies, different universes or planetary systems, what do we see? That the soul is in this body. The soul is in this body. The body is different in size, different in height. And you see, when we're talking of illusion, every day we are talking about illusion. Still, we are not hearing anything and understand what is illusion. Right? What is height?
5.7.
5.7. Very good. What is the height, Mataji? What's the height?
Height? Mine?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, you never measure yourself? Yes, what is the height? No, also? What is the height?
4.10.
4.10. What's the height? You don't know. What's the height? 5.8. You see? You are all in illusion. You are not 5.8. You are not 5.7. You are not. You are 1/20,000, the tip of a hair. That is the size. You see? After reading Bhagavad Gita for many years, we don't know our size. Can you imagine? Then what to talk about those who are not reading Bhagavad Gita? What to talk about them? What to talk about them? This is Maya, illusion, that we don't know the size of the soul. That is why everyone thinks, why do you insult me? Why you talk to me like that? Who is talking to you? Who is talking to you? I only talk to your body, not you. But illusion, ignorance, makes us to think that, why you talk to me? Why do you touch me? Don't touch me. Nobody touches you. Nobody is talking to you. We are simply dealing with the body. And we are not the body. This is what Prabhupada have been teaching us since we came to ISKCON, that we are not these bodies. But in reality, we have not realized this, that we are not this body. Therefore, we are still acting foolishly. We are still acting. Therefore, we should hear the Gita from self-realized soul. A self-realized soul will reveal. It will show us exactly what we are. Graphically. We are not this height. Yes, we are not. We are very, very insignificant. Very, very significant. Then listen. This insignificant soul okay. Is it possible for anyone to measure that? 1/20,000 the tip of a hair. Can anyone measure that? No. What is the idea of this science? What is the idea of this message? What is the idea? What is the idea?
Materially is not possible.
But what is the idea? What is the idea? What is behind that? Right? Yes. We are too insignificant. That is the idea. The measurement is to show us that we are too insignificant. That is the idea. We are too insignificant. This knowledge will help us to adjust ourselves. Knowledge will help us to adjust ourselves. This is what this verse is teaching. So we should adjust ourselves to be able to do things what is right, to see that all bodies are important because the soul is inside this body. And this soul is very, very, very insignificant. But see the difference between the soul and this body. The difference is what? See, as tiny as we are, see the creation. Spacecraft is flying 37,000 kilometers above the sea level. It was manufactured by this tiny. Then, can we imagine what the Supreme Soul will do? Can we imagine? Eh? Can we imagine what the Supreme, if we a tiny, insignificant thing can do, it comes in us to Jagat. The question said, my fragment, just a fragment of myself, is maintaining the whole world, taking care, doing so many wonderful things. Look at the intelligence of Brahma. Don't look at the intelligence of Brahma. All of us here, our tongue tastes different. But the ingredient is the same. But see how Lord Brahma is so intelligent, and this intelligence is given to him by the Supreme Personality of God. See the way he assembled our tongue in such a way that everyone tastes this differently. But not that the material for your tongue is different from the material for my tongue and others. It is the same materials, but he is so intelligent that he can assemble in such an amazing way. What about the source of this intelligence? That is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet, we have so many foolish people. So it's not a surprise that we have so many foolish people who think that this tiny entity is equal to the supreme entity. Such an offense. It's a great offense. It's a great offense. For anyone to think that the gold, not in my ring, my hand. The gold in the ring is equal in quantity to the gold at the gold mine. Is that knowledge or ignorance? That's ignorance. But these ignorant people, they are working very hard to establish their ignorance. And they have so many followers all over the world, so many followers. Foolish people are following them. Even in our movement. One devotee, he came to Mauritius, but the temple room couldn't contain him. So they rented a very big auditorium for him. And it was full, packed, shoulder to shoulder. For him to speak. His spiritual master, his own spiritual master, came to the same temple, only 5 people in the class. What is responsible? What does that mean? What is the message? What is the message?
He knows how to speak what they want to hear, compromising kind of message. They like it. They don't like the real truth.
Very good. Very good. As we devotees, how do you feel when you hear Mahabharata? How do you feel? How do you feel when you hear Mahabharata? Mahabharata. How do you feel?
Two families, they fight for them.
How do you feel yourself? How do you feel yourself?
No, they said they are two families, same family. They are
Okay,
fighting.
that is all right. But how you feel? You who are watching two families fighting and seeing the quality of their fighting, how do you feel yourself?
Yeah, there is one dharma, is not dharma. Religion is not there.
How do you feel when you watch a Mahabharata film? How do you feel?
The excitement.
Excited. Yes. See. Yes. See, how they demonstrating. Do you feel like that when you read Bhagavad Gita? Huh? You feel like that when you're reading Bhagavatam? So what does that mean? What does it mean? Our taste is very low. That's what it means. Have a very low taste. For those who have a very high taste, when they hear Bhagavatam, they will not stop hearing. They will continue to hear. They will not stop. Because they are enjoying it. So Sutta Goswami said, Rasika Bhuvo Bhuva. Rasika Bhuva Bhuvi Bhuvi. What is that? The Rasikas, those who know how to enjoy, when they hear Bhagavatam, they will faint. And that's a break. Fainting means they're taking break. When they come back, they continue to hear. That is the proof of a soul who is releasing Krishna consciousness. And that knowledge Krishna is giving, that we will be able to see all living entities as Krishna's parts and parcels. If we have this vision, we will have respect for everyone. Do you not? We have respect for everyone. When we have this vision, when we start seeing all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. All living beings are Krishna's parts and parts, Krishna's children. And Krishna loves all. Our attitude towards everything will change. If we know, master this verse, our attitude will change. In our movement, we have a lot of cases where devotees are abusing devotees. Why is that? We don't have this knowledge. For one who knows that you are part of Krishna, we will not abuse any person. We will have respect, because I know that you are very dear to Lord Krishna because you are part of Krishna. And Prabhupada usually say, love me, love my dog. A person who loves Krishna will love all Krishna's children. Will never misuse anything because we know that everything belongs to Krishna. So the Prabhupada walks in the street and you see a running tap, you go down and close it. Why? This is Krishna's energy. That is the proof of one who have this knowledge. When this verse is fully realized, then you will see there is unity. There is unity. I will be able to appreciate you. I will value your viewpoint. I will appreciate whatever you offer. Your services will be highly appreciative. Whatever thing we do will be very appreciative because you understand that you are part of Krishna and I should have respect for you. I should value you. I should deal with you in the way that Krishna will be very happy. That's the importance of this verse. And when we start living a life like this, where is illusion? What is material life? We are in Vaikuntha. This is Vaikuntha consciousness. Vaikuntha consciousness is what this verse is teaching. We should see this verse. All the difficulties we're having in this world will disappear. We'll never have an issue with anybody. Never. Why pure devotees do not take offense? Because they have this vision. They are not fools. Pure devotees are not fools. A sadhu. He went to the Ganges for bathing and he saw a bee fell inside. He saw that. So this bee is trying to get out. See, the sadhu put his hands, scooped the water, the bee stung. He dropped the bee back inside the water. The students were seeing their guru doing like that. After a few minutes, as he was massaging, the pain subsided. He did the same thing. He dropped the bee. He continued like this until he was able to do and throw the bee to the land. The disciples said, Gurudev, what are you doing? 5 times this bee stung you. And you try to remove the bee. He said, yes. That is the nature of the bee. That is the nature of the bee. The bee does not know that what it's doing is wrong. And my duty is what? To allow the bee there. That's my duty? No, my duty is to save the bee. This is the duty, the assignment of a self-realized soul. That is why we have to approach the self-realized, not a Dura Atma, but a Mahatma. If you go to Dura Atma, you will remain in this material world. We should go to a Mahatma. And Krishna said, Mahatma na tu mam parta devim prakriti vasita. The Mahatmas are not deluded. They are under the divine energy. The divine energy. Therefore, the responsibility is to deliver us from the material existence, material world. In the process of deliverance, the conditioned souls, a lot of difficulties there. That is the bee. A sadhu is trying to deliver a conditioned soul. He must face difficulties in doing that. But Lord Sabdev said, we should not, a self-realized way should not look at that. A self-realized way should continue to be patient until he is able to deliver conditioned soul. And because the self-realized soul, they have this great responsibility, they are very, very dear to Krishna. So if you want to be dear to Krishna, we should try to learn this verse. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Comments? Yes, bro.
Just two comments. You were talking about a devotee not having any. My good friend Radha Manraj, he always told me that a real devotee is Ajata Satru. He has no enemies at all. And then you were talking about how we see Krishna within the body of all living entities. And that just reminded me of where Prabhupada was speaking with a group of theologians in his garden at the Los Angeles Temple. And he was saying if one loves Krishna, one will not kill even an ant. But the way that Prabhupada said it just had such a powerful, just what he said was such deep conviction, was unbelievable. Very,
Yes.
very strong.
Yes. Because you see the soul there. See the soul. How can we do that? Because the soul is there. A pure soul will not act whimsically. Because you know that nature has arranged everything. If you look carefully, you'll see the main reason why Krishna chastised Bali Maharaj is because he interfered with the universal law. He drove demigod away from the position and took over the authority. When Krishna arrested him and treated him like a crow. Then later he compensated him by becoming his servant, doorkeeper. All right? Comment? Yes, question? Yes. Very
Thank you
good.
very much. A wonderful lecture. So many lessons to be done. Maharaj, in your lecture you talk about Prabhupada says a nature of a sadhu, a saintly person, how he should be. And you gave an example of a bee and a sadhu who is rescuing a bee several times and still it's biting. And somewhere in the same purport, Prabhupada talks about scenario whereby some of the insects or animals, they are like snake and
Yes, yes. I understand.
scorpion. They are very envious kind of animals. So immediately we can kill them. So how do we reconcile both this?
Yes.
How do we understand?
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He said that a sadhu feels happy when a snake is killed. But he never killed snake. He never did. He didn't do it. He didn't kill any snake. Even though there are so many snakes. In his Calcutta house, one of his disciples he complained to him about a ghost coming to disturb. So he asked the devotee to come and stay with him. And when the disciples, see, he's coming. But this Dhira Saraswati liberated the ghost. He didn't kill the liberated the ghost. So they have that ability. The other day we were talking about Haridas Thakura living with a deadly, dangerous snake in the same hole, but he didn't see the snake. Other people were seeing the snake, but he didn't see. When the devotees complain, please, we beg you, we'll build you a different quarters. How did I say? Oh, why are you wasting your time thinking of a snake? Why are you not chanting the holy name? Why? Anyway, please just forget about the snake and listen to me. If you are seeing a snake here, please don't worry. I tell you the truth. By tomorrow, if the snake didn't go, then I will go. So let's talk about Krishna. Let's talk about Krishna. As Haridas Sakura pronounced that word, if by tomorrow the snake is still here, then I will go. Immediately the snakes started leaving. Even when the snake was leaving, because if the snake bite, no medicine. They were afraid. Even the snake moving away, they were afraid. So if you tell them to look, who is here? But the snake did not do anything. He quietly left the place. The people started, come on, Shari Haridas Sakura Ki.
Well, that happened with Pankaj too, I think, also in Mayapur. When the flooding was there was a snake. And Pankaj was thinking, what will happen here? But eventually the snake just swam away.
It is our consciousness. It's a consciousness. We mentioned also the other day of Krishna's father, Vasudeva. Ferocious animal doesn't attack him. They will see him as a friend. They won't do that to others. Because there's hostility in us towards them, so therefore they are hostile. But Vasudeva doesn't have that hostility. So even ferocious animals loved him because of his Krishna consciousness. They loved him. So when we have all these things, we should know that it is our nature that is attracting all these things. Make sense? Hare Krishna. All right. Thank you very much. Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Satis ki jai.